When it comes to a front yard renovation, the most important thing is your design. You always want to start with the design. If you want to have that magazine-worthy front yard, you want something that actually brings value to your home, you start with the design. I'm going to spotlight a project behind us. I'm going to go through lots of cool things with it, the challenges, 3 different points of things that you can do, anybody can do with their front yard to make it look really cool. And at the end, I'm going to share something with you to make this even better. Let's go. Now on this one, there was a couple things that we definitely needed to address. First of all, there is a hillside here. So as you can see, the driveway is not done yet. We've got some stairs going on and there's a little bit of a hillside on the way to the front door. So a lot of the times when you are deciding on what to do with your front yard, you may come into some elevation or some grading issues where you've got to decide, am I going to have a set of stairs? Am I going to have a retaining wall? How am I going to get from A to B, right? So that's the first challenge here. The second challenge is this was a new build, very nice, beautiful new home. Love it. It's got the metal roof, all the cool things that we like. A lot of the times when you have something like this, it's just going to be grass there. If you just had somebody build you a house, they don't really do much with the landscaping, right? So you got to hire a designer, somebody to come in and take care of it. The inverse is you may live in a home that you renovated all the inside, but now the outside is pretty outdated and it's time to rip out a bunch of old bushes, trees that aren't looking good, things that have just kind of passed their time, and you want to get to a place of basically a blank template. So those are the first 2 challenges, and those are the challenges that most people are going to go up against. You may be going up against those. So this is why you always get a design so you can map out what that finished product is going to look like. Here, there are 3 things that I want to focus on. First is going to be transitions. Second is going to be the color palette specifically of the hardscaping. The third thing is going to be low maintenance plantings. I don't know if you can tell by me kind of talking like this a little bit, but it's 30 degrees right now. It is winter. Happy New Year, January 2nd at the time of recording this video. And it's important to think about all seasons when you are designing and you want something to look good all the time. So that is another thing we're going to talk about. First, let's talk about those transitions. So I'm going to flip the camera around here. So you got this big old driveway that comes down. And as you can see, these pavers at this time, they're pretty dirty. And that is because we've got a lot of chat on the driveway and they have dogs. So one thing you want to think about is the maintenance as far as anything that you were picking out. Obviously, if that was a concrete driveway, an asphalt driveway, this would not be as dirty. Now you can start to see the actual colors of the pavers. Super important, obviously, right? To make sure you think about, oh, okay, what am I going to have to keep up with? 99% of the time, this issue is never going to be there, but it's something to think about. So this is why with this transition that we came from, you got to go from the driveway up to the front, and then we have to have a set of stairs so you can have an entry point here. These are those 2 transitions. You got to think about how you're going to get from A to B. The next thing, let's just dive right into the color. The reason we actually chose this beautiful paver by County, the dark to a little bit of light to a nice gray, is because we want to make sure that if things do get dirty, it doesn't stand out quite as much as it could. If we had gone to a very white or a limestone or anything that is on the lighter side, man, every single paw print is really going to stand out, anything that you can think of. So when you are picking out the colors for your hardscaping, make sure it obviously goes with the architecture of the house and think from a maintenance point of view, okay? What we did here, another cool tip, is a triple border or double border, dark to light to kind of that grayscale, which goes with the framing of the windows, the colors, and the white. So you got kind of a gray to a white to a black, which is why this was selected. Same with the retaining wall here. You got a beautiful color. This is called a lure with a darker cap. And then all of these things play off together with the architecture of the house. So when you are designing, you're going to think about those transitions. You're going to think about the color palette, and then you want to think about how to soften things up, what kind of maintenance you're going to have. So an easy way for planting is to go with a bunch of evergreens. You see how we've got these evergreens along here? We've got a couple along here, along the staircase. The reason, and then we've got some trees, which of course are gonna bud in the spring. We've got some evergreens here. These are gonna fill up this dead space right here. You wanna go with evergreens because when everything does go dormant in the winter, now you've got something that looks good year round. And then when spring comes, when summer comes, when fall even, all of these things, all these pockets in the landscaping are gonna have color, they're gonna have bloom. You have opportunities to plant perennials, annuals, there's more space in here. But you wanna think about, how do I create color, interest year round? And finally, I was talking about those dogs. You see how we've got the rock here? And we've got this little, almost like inlay of mulch, but most of this is rock. Why? Because dogs love to go and mulch and dig around and mess things up, is pretty much what happens. So we went very minimal on that. We pretty much just went to a gravel for everything. So as you can see, we thought about transitions, we thought about color, we also thought about maintenance, how to create seasonal interest and maintenance for dogs, right? If you want to have a front yard that is really, really powerful, it just commands attention, it makes the house look amazing. It all starts with design that adds value. If you want more ideas, if you want to see more projects like this, if you want to get more into the ecosphere of more intricate tips and just everything spelled out, we have a monthly exclusive. It is a newsletter. It comes out once a month where I spotlight multiple projects and I can show you more tips like this. Best of all, I always give out discounts. So if you are thinking about hiring a designer, we would love to help you. Or if you're in the St. Louis area and you're gonna hire a company, I actually give out discounts every single month. There's something special there. So it's just something free, it's easy. Go on the links below, sign up. I'd love to talk to you, love to have you as part of this community and show you more projects like this. This is Bobby K saying creation is everything, so go out and create. It's cold, I'm going inside.
Never stop, I'll get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise.